So I've become a pretty big fan of Google Forms, and I've been using them for things other than surveys recently. And something that might be helpful to some of you is putting comprehension questions in Google Forms, and I'll show you why I like to do that. Let's take a look at these questions from This Boy's Life. So what's nice is you can have every item required so that the kids can't skip questions. They can't submit it unless they've responded to all of the questions. I have quite a few long answer texts because these are also how I'm getting my writing samples and assessing writing during this unit are through these and through Schoology discussions. I've got a couple of multiple choice selections in there, and I always make sure I have them enter their name. And what I've also started doing is having them enter their class period, or I do that as a multiple choice. They pick which class period they're in. And that allows me to sort it easily when I go to create a spreadsheet of the responses. But I can look at the responses on here, and if I want to look at them student by student, I can do that. If I just want to look at one student, how they responded to the questions, I can do that. I can look at a question and see how different students responded to it. That was a multiple choice question, but let's say I want to look at a short response or more of a free written question. Can look at these and I see, let's say, all right, I want to look at this response, and okay, he's making an inference, but I'm thinking maybe he wants to use more specific examples, so that's some individualized feedback I can give him. I can skim through these, and if something stands out in one way or the other, just click on that and I can see who it is, and that way I can approach things a little more efficiently. Also, what I like is when you have a multiple choice question, it makes these fun graphs, and I can always see 94.8% inferred appropriately. The last thing I'll show you here is that you can export these to a spreadsheet, and that way you can see when things were submitted. You can sort it. So right now I have it sorted alphabetically by last name. Let's say I want to make sure I'm doing that. Yeah. So now I can look through responses, and if there's one that I want to take a closer look at, I can do it that way too. So Google Forms, very cool.